This is the third year running that Motorola have announced updates in the Moto X series of smartphones. However, this year is a little bit different as they introduced not one, but two new smartphones in the X series. The first is a high-end model known as the Moto X Style, and the second is a mid-ranger known as the Moto X Play. The X Play was recently launched in India at really competitive prices. Rupees 18,500 for the 16GB version and Rupees 20,000 for the 32GB version. The features and specifications promise to put up a fight with the other contenders in this price range. Let's take a closer look and see whether the phone lives up to expectations. The Moto X Play and Moto X Style have designs that are quite similar but yet different at the same time. While Motorola themselves and many other people do consider the X Style to be the stylish member among the two, we feel that the X Play is in fact quite stylish too. The name X Play doesn't actually suit the kind of design that it sports. When you hear the name, you expect a device that is very colorful and maybe a rugged design. On the contrary, the X Play looks simple yet beautiful. The design on the front looks identical to the Nexus 6 smartphone. At the back, you have a really nice textured leather finish. It's something that you would expect to find in high-end contemporary furniture perhaps. The finish gives additional grip and makes the phone look good. There is a chrome bezel that runs all around the back, and while it looks good, we feel that it could have looked even better had the bezels been just a tad bit smaller than it is. The device is quite a bit thicker than most conventional smartphones as it measures 10.9 mm in terms of thickness, but it still fits well into the hands and is easy to handle thanks to the curved back. It offers good grip, and despite being a 5.5-inch device, it doesn't feel cumbersome to use and carry. Up front, you have the large 5.5-inch 1080p display. Above it, you have the earpiece, 5-megapixel front-facing camera, ambient light sensor as well as proximity sensor. Below the display, you have the speaker. At the right side, you have the volume rocker button and the power/lock key. The power/lock key actually has a nice groove finish, while the volume rocker has a smooth chrome finish. The groove finish feels good to hold and press, but it also helps distinguish between both the keys without looking. The left side is empty, and at the top you have the 3.5mm audio jack and the SIM slot. At the bottom you have the micro USB port. Moving over to the back, you have the 21-megapixel camera unit along with a dual tone LED flash. The entire unit is housed in an elongated silver strip with a Motorola logo at the bottom. The logo is in a dimple, and this dimple acts as a resting position for your finger while making calls, etc., and improves the handling of the phone. At the top right corner, you will see the secondary microphone, and at the bottom, you can see the primary microphone. The back panel is removable, and you can buy another color or different type of back cover to accessorize your X Play. The battery, however, isn't removable, but Motorola have managed to pack a massive 3630 mAh battery under the hood, and that is one of the reasons why the device is thicker than most smartphones. The Moto X Play is available in both black and white colors, and while both look good, we find the white version to be a tad bit more elegant, and besides, smudges are more visible on the black variant. The Moto X Play also has a water repellent nano coating that keeps water away to a certain extent, and it has IP52 rating. But that doesn't mean it is waterproof and that you can use it underwater. While it may survive an accidental dip in water and is fine to use it maybe under light rain, it's not advisable to use it in your shower or in your swimming pool. The Moto X Play has a 5.5-inch 1080p display with a screen-to-body ratio of 74.4%. That is quite an impressive feat, and it's in fact smaller than the LG G4, which has a 72.5 screen-to-body ratio, but it is marginally bigger than the G3, which had a 75.3 screen-to-body ratio percentage. The display is sharp and vibrant, and it also has good brightness. The sunlight legibility is good too, as the screen isn't very reflective and the brightness is high. The display is protected by Corning Gorilla Glass 3, and it is quite resistant to scratches. It does, however, pick up smudges very easily. The glass has a 2.5D effect at the edges, which makes using the screen feel more natural. Motorola allows the user to choose the color mode they want. Users can't choose the color temperature or choose a mode manually, but they can choose between a normal or vibrant color mode. It doesn't make a world of difference, but people who prefer richer colors can opt for the vibrant mode. The Moto X Play comes with Android 5.1.1 Lollipop out of the box, and as such has hardly any customizations or UI layers on top. This is one of the reasons why the phone performs really quick and how Motorola is able to roll out updates for the phone so quickly. There is a built-in application called Migrate that allows you to quickly transfer old data to or from this device. Motorola themselves have bundled quite a few neat features along with the phone. Twist to capture is yet another trick up the phone sleeve. You can launch the device's camera app by simply twisting your wrist twice quickly. This works regardless of whether the device is in standby or awake mode. It even vibrates prior to the camera app being launched to notify you in case the wrist movement was accidental. The Moto X Play has a dual nano SIM slot which can be accessed using a SIM ejector pin. The phone supports 4G LTE, however only one SIM can use 4G LTE at a time while the other SIM remains on 2G. Luckily, both the variants also have a micro SD card slot. If you're thinking that it must be a hybrid slot like most other dual SIM smartphones, then you're mistaken, as the Moto X Play neatly manages to fit in a micro SD card slot beneath both the SIM slots on the removable tray. It's hard to notice as you wouldn't normally expect it. The phone supports cards up to 128GB in capacity. On the 32GB variant, the user gets around 20.97GB out of the box. The device has a micro USB port, Bluetooth 4.0, as well as dual band Wi-Fi ABGN. Surprising that it is missing the AC standard Wi-Fi, which would have been a good feature to have, but at least it supports dual bands. It is powered by an octa-core Snapdragon 615 processor along with 2GB of RAM. We didn't have any issues with the performance of the phone. It never hung up on us or did it lag. Even the heating issues that plagued some of the earlier Snapdragon 615 powered handsets is no longer present in this. Perhaps it gets a bit warm, but that's only when gaming heavily, running multiple benchmarks or using the phone for long durations over LTE. Although it may seem like the X Play has stereo speakers, it doesn't. It has a single speaker that is located below the display. The earpiece does not function as a speaker like on some other phones. The speaker is good in terms of clarity. The camera produces quite detailed images with good sharpness and vivid colors. The dynamic range is pretty decent too, but what we found out to be really good was the autofocus and shutter speed, which were really fast. Couple that with the ability to launch the camera app simply by twisting your wrist twice, regardless of whether the phone is awake or in sleep, means you can capture quick shots without missing the moment. The depth of field is also really shallow and you can get nice bokeh in the background when you focus an object really close. The camera can capture 21 megapixels in 4:3 aspect ratio and 16.1 megapixels in 16:9 aspect ratio. Video recording maxes out at 1080p resolution at 30 fps. This is more of a processor limitation than a camera hardware specific limitation, so nothing much can be done here. But the good thing to note is that the phone records really good video with good color and sharpness. Perhaps the best part of videos is the fact that they are buttery smooth and feel as if it has OIS even though it doesn't. The phone also allows you to record slow motion video but at 540p resolution. The front camera too is quite good, especially in well-lit conditions where it has good detailing, sharpness and colors. The Motorola X Play has a non-removable but massive 3630 mAh battery under the hood, and it got a one charge rating of 14 hours and 42 minutes, which is one of the best we have seen in our battery tests. The Moto X Play is a really good device for the money that you spend. It has a really good screen, good battery life, dual SIM 4G LTE and a micro SD expansion slot that doesn't require you to sacrifice the SIM slot. The positives vastly outweigh the negatives, and I would probably go as far as saying that in this price range, the Moto X Play is my favorite phone. Listed here are the pros and cons of the device. If you like this video, do hit the like button and do subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. Thanks for watching.